Okay, hi everyone, you're alright. So this is a little bit more maths for you. So we're going to start off with some long division here because we know that we've kind of gone out of practice a little bit with this, so good to refresh our memories. Now I've chosen a prime number here, so we've got 13. We've got 351 divided by 13. Because it's a prime number, hopefully we should know that it's only in its own times table with the one times table. Subsequently, we can't adjust the numbers to try and make it a little bit easier for ourselves. So unfortunately, we're going to have to do the old-fashioned way. So, first things first, we go, okay, well how many 13s go into 3? Well, 0 at the moment, okay? Now, whereas normally we cross that out and carry it over, it gets a little bit complicated with the long division in that sense. So, what we're going to do instead is we go, okay, well 13 times 0 is 0, okay? Wonderful. Then, you go, okay, I'm going to subtract these lines. So I'm going to go, okay, 3 goes down, and then 5 goes here as well. So now I've got how many 13s going to 35. Now I don't know my 13 times table, so I'm going to have to write it out a little bit. So I know that 13 times 1 is 13, 13 times 2 is 26, 13 times 3 is 39. So we're a little bit too high if we go to 13 times 3, so we're going to have to stick to 13 times 2. Okay, so we're going to put the 2 up here. Okay, well I know that 13 multiplied by 2, because we've just worked it out here, is 26. We write our 26 here, and then we're going to subtract these 2. So 6 from 5 we can't do, so we're going to borrow from here, we're going to exchange it, so we're going to have 9 here, and then this 1 is going to go all the way down here. Okay, so now we know that we've got a 91 to do with, so we need to go how many times 13 goes into 91, so we've got to keep on with this a little bit. So now we'll do 13 times 4. So again, just to kind of make your life a little bit easier, I don't want to keep having 13 each time because it's a bit of a pain. I know 13 times 2 is 26, so 13 times 4 has to be twice as big, so therefore it's going to be 52. Then 13 times 5 is 65. 13 times 6 is 78, and 13 times 7, wonderful, is 91. So we're all good. So that's what we need there. So we know that 13 into 91 goes 7 times. So subsequently our answer was 27. Okay? Right. Okay, right. So last year Jacob went to 4 concerts. 3 of his tickets were £5 each. The other one cost £7. Okay, now we have to work out the mean cost of the tickets. So mean is a way of calculating an average, and we've got mean, median and mode. Median is the middle one, mode is the most frequent, and mean is the mean one to calculate in the sense that it's a bit of a pain, where we have to do a little bit more work. So we have to add up each of the numbers that we have. So £5, £5 and £5, and then a further £7, and divide it by the number of pieces of data that we have. So we've got 4 concerts, so 4 tickets, so we have to divide our answer by 4 in the end. So 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 5 is 15, plus another 7 is 22. So what we have to do now is 22 divided by 4. Okay, I'm going to make it a little bit easy for myself and do 11 divided by 2, I'm just going to adjust it. So now off the top of my head, we can hopefully work that out, that the mean, the average was £5.50. Okay? Right, next one. So, Admin's got a zoo. Okay? Now, there are double the amount of penguins and parrots. So, this is again going to be, looks like it's going to be a ratio. So, we've got penguins to parrots. Okay, so, twice as many penguins and parrots. So, the ratio is going to be 2 to 1. Okay, so we've got that straight, that's all good. So now, if there are 64 penguins, so if this number now turns into 64, okay, we need to figure out how many parrots there are. Well, in order to make 2 turn into 64, we've got to multiply it by 32. So therefore, that has to be 32. Okay, so that's the first one done. Now, if there are 42 parrots, so just write it out again. So you've got penguins to parrots. So now apparently we have 42 parrots over here. And then remember the ratio is the same, 2 to 1. So this side here, the penguins has to be twice as big. So twice as much as 42 is 84. Okay? So that's the answer for that one there. Now, if there are 81 animals in total, how many of each animal are there? So we're still going to use that initial ratio that we started with. So So we're going to go our ratio being 2 to 1, where this is our penguins and these are our parrots. Okay, and all together they're going to be 81. So we have to find out how many bits our ratio is split up into. So 2 add 1 means that my ratio is now in 3 parts. So if I have a total of 81, I've got to do 81 divided by 3 to find out what one part of that ratio is. So 3 into 8 goes twice. Okay, with 2 left over, 3 into 21 goes 7 times. So one part of that ratio has to be 27. So this would be 27, and then 2 parts of it would be twice as big as that, which would make that 54. And then to double check, we'd add those 2 together to see if we end up with 81 again. So 54 plus 27. So 4 add 7 is 11. 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got 81 again, so we're all good. Okay? See you next week.